there needs to be some sort of a plan such that you know that, okay, I'm boosting this post, this is exactly what I want to see out of this post, this is exactly who I want it to reach, this is exactly what I want them to do when they see this post. Hey guys, so today we are going to be talking about the two other platforms we didn't talk about in our last segment. So today we're going to be talking about Instagram and YouTube. And please guys, remember, if you like this content, please remember to subscribe to this, and you can also follow us on Instagram as well at Meet the Owner with 1T. So Dr. Arnold is going to kick it off for us.
Yeah, so Instagram and YouTube, they're very different. What I found is that they're very different in terms of how you approach them. One is 60-second clips, whereas the other one, you can go on for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour. You could go on for 2 hours on YouTube, as long as you've got something interesting enough for people to stay on for 2 hours. So they're two very different platforms, Instagram and YouTube. So we'll start off with YouTube. I think most people will have gone on YouTube and searched for something. And that's the key about YouTube. YouTube, you're going on there, you're searching, how do you fix this? How do you put a frame on the wall? How do you build this? How do you put together this TV? How do you set up this a set of Wi-Fi speakers? YouTube is that, answering people's questions. So that gives you an indication to how we should look to approach YouTube, really. We should look to answer people's questions. And I think if you approach YouTube in that way, you'll steadily build up a number of followers, subscribers, and your content will generate some interest. The way I like to think of YouTube is it's almost like an online asset, in that you do the work once and it's there forever. Whereas somewhere like Instagram, the shelf life of content is very quick. On YouTube, somebody might find your content useful in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, but you're not doing any new work. You did the work once and it's there already. So I think YouTube is one of those you have to be very patient, very, very patient. Make sure that you're answering a specific question, and then execute it to the best of your ability. Then wait and be patient. I think that's one thing that we're not too keen on, patience and waiting. But yeah, I'd say YouTube is very key for any business or entrepreneur to be able to have to showcase to their clients or people that they want to showcase their service to.
Because I've noticed as well, YouTube, it's all the other little things, because like you said as well, it's a search place. They say it's the second largest search engine, so it's a lot of, you have to make sure things like you're using keywords, because people are going to be searching. Like you said, it's a lot of how-tos, and most of us search how to do this, how to do that. So it's always thinking about, okay, what are people actually going to be searching on YouTube? And I need to make sure my title has those words. And also there is quite a lot of competition on YouTube that I found as well. So it's kind of looking at, okay, what am I talking about? Am I just talking about the same exact thing that everyone's talking about, or am I, bringing slightly different perspective, looking at, okay, who's talking, what are the gaps there, is there anything else that I can bring, sort of thing, that people are not talking about that could really add value to people. And also one thing that I've learned with YouTube, I've seen, it's your thumbnails as well, making sure your thumbnails actually want to make people want to click, but then it's making sure also it's the ethics. What I found with YouTube as well is the ethics of, is everything just going to be clickbait, where you're just going to be getting people, and because you know there's those videos on YouTube where it says it's one thing, you click on it, it's something completely different. So it's making sure you know what your ethics are, and you know what you're willing to do and where you're willing to go and not to go. And obviously we would always advise making sure you're above board. If you say the video's this, when someone clicks on it, it should be that, you know. Or even when people put pictures of, you know, Gary V as their thumbnail, and what the person's clicking on it expecting to see Gary V, and it's like, no, it's not. And I know there's those little clever things that people use, but I think it's just people see through these things eventually, don't they? So you just have to make sure it's you're being honest, you're being, you know, and like you're saying, what you said, Arnold, that it's a long-term game. So people are going to be seeing these videos, you know, so you never know. Some people might not even find it useful now, but months down the line, they might come back and they're like, oh yeah, this person talked about this, and you know, yeah.
Yeah. And it's once you realize that YouTube is a long-term game, that it's not for the next few weeks or few months that you're going to see amazing results, I think that then puts you in the right frame of mind to actually produce content. So you can produce content that's very, very niched down.
Mm.
So, for example, you might make a video targeted at um, people in their 40s that want to get fit from home. You know, you get very niche down to a particular subject. You doing just a fitness video on YouTube, that won't cut it.
Mm.
You have to speak to a very niche group of people, and that's how you break through in YouTube, really, because all things have been talked about.
Mm.
There's going to be nothing new that's going to be talked about. So it's about meeting the needs of a specific group of people, and that's how you start to build a tribe and a community. So you have to be clear on what promise, what value you're giving to people.
Yeah.
Is it, I want to help mothers who are busy with children and don't have much time, I want to help them with their fitness? That might be the promise that you're giving, that you're going to provide them with value that allows them to stay fit whilst maintaining everything else. Whatever it is, you need to be giving a very specific value proposition.
Mm. Mm.
You might also decide to do maybe comparison videos. So in dentistry, what I see is a lot of people do maybe compare toothbrushes, this
Mm.
electric toothbrush versus this electric toothbrush,
Mm.
this type of braces versus this type of braces. So
Mm.
versus videos work very well on YouTube. And one thing I've been seeing recently is reaction videos.
Mm.
So whether it's in music, maybe a musician has put out a song, and then you've got a YouTuber who decides to react to that song, and they show their personality through that. Um, you're leveraging the popularity of this famous person, but you're also putting your own personality into it as you react to the video. So there's different approaches to YouTube. It's finding your lane and then producing content consistently. Um,
Mm.
One thing I heard was your first 100 videos will be rubbish.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
So that means that don't expect to have this amazing video on, you know, on your first attempt.
Mm.
You have to put in the hours and put in the work to produce those first 100, so that in that process you're improving, you're refining, and then from video number 100 to video number 200, there's a big difference in the quality, in your confidence on camera, and in how you're providing value to the people. So when you start looking at YouTube that way, you can really start to get great results, because YouTube, everyone uses YouTube. It's just about you putting your value, your content, your message on there, so that the people that need it will find it.
Yeah, and just a last comment on YouTube as well. I found, like you mentioned, your own personality. What I found is that you also mentioned things like, you know, a lot of the things have already been said, a lot of the things have already been done. But one thing that you can always do is bring, like you said, your own personality, present it in a different way. A lot of the time, people that succeed on YouTube, it's not that everything that they're doing is original, it's that they've put their own spin on it, they've communicated it in their own way. It's like the news, you know, some people only ever get into the news when a comedian does a version of the, you know what I mean? When, like, I prefer to get my news from Trevor Noah, to be perfectly honest, because he's funny. But the thing is, I know he still presents facts. I know he's still, you know, it's not fake news as they call it, but I know he's going to present it in a way that I like to receive it. So also for you, it could be, yes, I'm saying a similar thing to what other people are saying, but how can I present it for my specific audience? And also for every single platform you ever work on, you're always thinking of a specific audience that you have, rather than you're not trying to communicate to everyone. Like Arnold's talking about, you're being unique and you're saying, okay, this is my little space of the internet, and I'm going to make sure that whatever content I provide for this little group of people here, and I'm going to provide it in a way that they appreciate it. And remembering that not everyone is going to appreciate it. You're creating it for your own group of people who you do you know what I mean, who you create your content for, who you do all of these things for on social media.
Yeah, and a misconception can be that you need to have a great production in order to put something out on YouTube, which is far from the truth. Either you have really good equipment, which makes your YouTube videos so nice that people that don't even care about your topic will just watch it because it just looks beautiful.
Yeah.
You can be that person. And if you can afford it, that's great. Or you can be the person who can do a video on their phone, but because what you're saying is so valuable to people, they don't care that it was shot on an iPhone or on a Samsung. They just want the information so badly that they don't really care about the quality of the video. So you shouldn't let the quality of the video put you off from putting content out there.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. And yeah, so that takes us on to Instagram.
Yeah. So Instagram is a platform that was made for professional photographers. That's why it's the camera symbol, for the Instagram icon. So originally, yeah, it was made for professional photographers, but now everybody is using Instagram, not just professional photographers. So again, it's just that evidence of how platforms mature. TikTok right now, it was brushed aside as it's just for people that are, pre-teens, 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds doing dance videos. But now you're getting grown people using TikTok. So these platforms, they mature. But anyway, Instagram. Instagram, I think, is very key. Very key for anybody that wants to share a message or provide content that brings value. Instagram, because so many people are on it, the organic reach is not as great as it used to be. So if you put out a piece of content, not as many eyeballs will see it as was the case years before. So that means that the quality of your posts needs to be very good to break through and get seen by a lot of people. But again, Instagram is one of those that at this current stage in 2020, if you consistently put out content of value, you will grow a following on Instagram. Yeah, I mean, how's your experience of Instagram been?
Yeah, I think with Instagram, I was obviously even just looking back a bit about the history of Instagram, and because Instagram is obviously owned by Facebook, and Instagram and Facebook at the moment are being considered, like, for short form anyway, type social media platform. They're like the two biggest ones. You know, and obviously at the moment, like you said, the organic reach is low. But one of the things that I've seen about all of these different platforms, you're always trying to you have to play by their rules, and you have to kind of find out what they want for you to be able to win on these platforms. So let's say, obviously, when TikTok came out, Instagram decided to do their own version by bringing out the reels. And what they were doing is that they were rewarding the people that went and did reels. So that meant that even though the general organic reach of Instagram is quite low at the moment, if you decided to do reels, you know, you did really well. Same thing that happened before that when Snapchat came and they were doing their thing and they were really big, and then Instagram was there thinking, okay, what can we do? And they decided to bring stories. And at that time, if you did stories, you know, you were getting good reach. So one thing that I've noticed as well is that whenever these platforms bring out a new thing, especially like Instagram, it's always a good idea to go on that new thing, because they'll always give you a better organic reach than if you just keep doing the normal stuff that happens on that platform.
Yeah.
So yeah, so stories, lives, reels seem to be the thing at the moment. That is actually getting people quite a lot of.
I mean, even though it's densely populated, there's a lot of people on Instagram.
Mm,
The amazing thing about Instagram is you can talk directly to people in your local community,
mm,
and you can interact with people in your local community. So if you've got a service or a product that you want to provide to your local community, on Instagram, you can find out who's posting stuff on Instagram within your local area.
mm,
So that's an amazing tool, because you can literally talk to those people directly and build a community with
mm,
people that are within your region. So
mm,
it allows you to be very specific to who you're talking to,
mm.
Instagram. So that's
Yeah,
something that you can take advantage of.
yeah.
Talk to people, comment on their posts, provide value on their posts, and things will pick up on Instagram.
Yeah, and obviously people tend to shy away from things like your paid reach type things for Instagram and Facebook actually. But one thing that I would always say is that you know there's different ways to grow on these platforms, and you can actually use the paid route as well with Instagram and Facebook to be able to grow, and that's what they want you to do. Again, it's also looking at what does the platform want. So if you don't want to do too much work, one of the things that you have to consider is, okay, can I pay to play almost? And obviously when I say this, I'm not talking about buying followers and all of that, you know, crazy stuff people do. I mean doing things in line with the actual platform. So you know, whether it's boosting posts, if you go on your posts, look at your posts, look at the ones that have done the best, that people seem to have got the most value out of, boost those. You know, they can reach out to more people, help more people, and you're more likely to get more people following you. Just remember, if you're ever using any of the paid kind of avenues on Facebook or Instagram, just always remember you need to have some form of a plan. You can't just, you know, chuck here, throw money here, throw money there. There needs to be some sort of a plan, such that you know that, okay, I'm boosting this post. This is exactly what I want to see out of this post. This is exactly who I want it to reach. This is exactly what I want them to do when they see this post. It just needs to be a bit more well thought out, because if not, what's going to happen is that you're going to pay money, do it, and you're going to, maybe you might even get a bunch of likes, but you're going to end up with nothing else after that. And you're going to say it doesn't really work. Or you're going to go around saying, look, I got a load of likes, but nothing else really happened apart from that. So
And it's a lot of information between the two sessions where we talked about Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And this is why our initial approach of going onto all of them at the same time didn't work that well, because we weren't respecting the platforms and the way that people like to receive content on each of those platforms. Um, so that's why we say, choose your hero platform, choose your main platform, start working away at that platform. And as you're getting confident on that one platform, introduce another platform. And once you've got 2, 3, 4 of these platforms at work, they can start working in a synergistic way, where they're complementing each other, where you're serving an audience on YouTube with a 30-minute video answering a question, and then you're able to chop that 30-minute video into maybe a 1-minute video for micro content that you're going to put on Instagram. Maybe you're taking 5 minutes from that YouTube content and putting it on your Facebook group and answering a specific question within that Facebook group that's going to help people. And maybe you're making, I don't know, a carousel or a slideshow from that content on LinkedIn. And that's providing value to people on LinkedIn. And now everything is working together, and you're getting a much bigger reach, bigger exposure. People are getting familiar with you, and it's just got a compounding effect. So when it's all working together, it works in a beautiful way. But you need to start with the first building block, one platform, and getting good at that one platform.
Yeah, definitely. I would agree. And I would also say, obviously, with these things as well, we're talking about them right now in a bit more of a general way, and we're just talking about our general experiences. What we might do in the future is delve deeper into maybe each platform, maybe talk about some things that have worked for us more specifically, some things that haven't. But yeah, we really, really appreciate you guys listening to this. We hope that you keep listening, and next time as well, we're going to carry on talking about social media marketing, other business stuff as well. But other than that, thank you so much for listening. Please remember to subscribe and follow us on our social media channels. Yeah, thank you. See you.
Yes, see you at the next one, guys. Have a good day.